Looking for the best compact digital camera to suit your needs? In this video, we're diving into some of the top options available right now. Before we begin, don't forget to check out the links in the description to find the best deals within your budget. Let's get Number 1. Fujifilm X100VI. Fujifilm X100VI isn't just a camera, it's an experience. If the Ricoh GR IIIx is a poet scribbling in notebooks, the X100VI is the artist filling sketchbooks and displaying their work in galleries. Compact and discreet, the X100VI combines design, feel, and image quality in a way that's captivated photographers and travelers for over a decade. Inside, it features a 40-megapixel APS-C sensor with a fixed 35mm equivalent lens and in-body image stabilization, a first for the X100 series. This stabilization allows you to take sharp, detailed photos even in low light, without needing a tripod. The X100VI uses the same sensor and processor found in Fujifilm's Professional X-T5, but in a camera small enough to slip into a bag. What makes this camera truly special is the experience of using it. The hybrid optical electronic viewfinder lets you shoot through a real glass rangefinder or switch to a live digital display showing all your settings. It's a perfect mix of nostalgia and modern technology. Fujifilm's film simulations, like classic chrome and nostalgic negative, give every JPEG a rich, film-like tone straight out of the camera. It's not about technical perfection, it's about capturing emotion. The photos just feel right, no post-processing required. The 35mm field of view may seem limiting, but it's surprisingly versatile. It's wide enough for street and travel shots, yet intimate enough for portraits and storytelling. You can add converters for wider or tighter shots, but many owners don't bother. The focus is on simplicity. Physically, the X100VI is a true work of art. Number 2. Ricoh GR IIIx. It's small, understated, and built for people who want to capture moments anywhere and anytime. At first glance, it doesn't look like much. No big grip, no viewfinder, no flashy logos. It could pass for an old point-and-shoot, and that's part of its charm. But inside this unassuming body sits a 24-megapixel APS-C sensor, the same size you find in many professional mirrorless cameras. That gives it image quality far beyond what its size suggests. Its defining feature is the fixed 40mm equivalent lens. Not as wide as 35, not as tight as 50. It lands in a natural middle ground that feels just right for storytelling. It draws you slightly closer to your subject, forcing more deliberate framing while keeping enough environment to set the scene. It's the kind of lens that makes you move. And that's why street photographers swear by it. Ricoh's philosophy here is shoot first, think later. The camera powers on in under a second, focuses instantly, and has snap focus, which lets you preset a distance and fire without waiting for autofocus. It's like a modern digital take on a film street camera, built for those blink and you'll miss it moments. Colors are subtle and film-like, and the monochrome JPEGs have a beautiful, timeless tone. There's even in-body stabilization, surprisingly effective for such a small camera, especially in low light. Sure, there are compromises. No zoom, no viewfinder, no flip screen, and the battery life is modest. But those limits are part of the appeal. This is a camera for photographers who crave intention over automation, who value the act of taking a photo as much as the photo itself. Once you spend time with it, you understand why Ricoh owners talk about their cameras with near religious devotion. It's not just a tool, it's a companion. And now we arrive at the crown jewel of the compact camera world, the Number 3. Panasonic LUMIX FZ8D. If the Sony and Canon were all about portability and polish, the FZ8D is about reach. This thing doesn't just zoom, it launches. Panasonic calls it a bridge camera. And that's exactly what it is. It bridges the gap between a compact and a full DSLR by packing in a massive 20 to 1200mm equivalent zoom lens. You can shoot a sweeping skyline one moment and a close-up of the moon the next, all without changing lenses or even moving your feet. It's not pocketable, but it's lighter than you'd expect for what it does. Panasonic improved the ergonomics, so it feels balanced and even fully zoomed in. And the new D refresh isn't just cosmetic. It adds a sharper electronic viewfinder, a brighter touchscreen, and long-awaited USB-C charging. The sensor is a modest 18 megapixels, but that's not really the focus here. The FZ80D is about versatility. You can go from landscapes to wildlife in seconds. And Panasonic's optical image stabilization works wonders at those extreme telephoto lengths, keeping things steady, even handheld. Video is still solid with 4K recording at 30 frames per second. Plus, Panasonic's clever 4K photo mode that lets you capture fast bursts and pull stills later. Great for travelers or hybrid shooters who want both photos and clips without fussing with settings. Of course, that small sensor means you won't get buttery shallow depth or stellar night performance like the Canon or Fujifilm, but in daylight, this thing absolutely shines. The detail across the zoom range is impressive, and the color science is balanced and natural. Perfect for travel, wildlife, or just exploring creatively without lugging extra lenses. The FZ80D feels like carrying an entire camera bag in one body. You can shoot your kid's soccer game, a bird in flight, and a sunset landscape all in one afternoon. And never miss a beat. It's a true Swiss Army knife. Not the sharpest blade, but the one you'll always have with you. If you want a camera that can do it all and don't mind something a little larger, the Panasonic LUMIX FZ80D might be your best travel companion. It's not here to win lab tests, it's here to make sure you never miss the shot. Now, let's swing to the opposite extreme of the camera world. From the super zooming Panasonic to something far more minimalist, the Number 4. Canon's new PowerShot V1. A camera quietly redefining what compact means in 2025. From the moment you pick it up, it's clear this isn't a typical points and shoots. Canon built it for creators. Inside is a noticeably larger sensor, about 1.5 times the size of what you'd find in the Sony ZV-1F, giving cleaner low-light shots, smoother background blur, and an overall more cinematic image. What really separates the V1 is that it's a video-first camera. This isn't a stills camera that happens to shoot 4K. It's made for people who live in video. You get uncropped 4K up to 30 frames per second and even 60 frame capture with only a small crop. Canon also added a cooling fan, which sounds minor until you've watched a camera overheat mid-take. That tiny fan can save an entire shoot. Its lens covers a flexible 16 to 50 mm equivalent range, perfect for everything from vlogs to tighter mid-shots. It starts at f2.8.8. Not the fastest, but paired with the larger sensor, it still performs beautifully indoors or at dusk. Canon's dual-pixel autofocus is here, too. As quick and confident as ever, tracking faces so reliably, you stop thinking about focus altogether. Handling is classic Canon. Intuitive menus, a fully flipping screen, and both microphone and headphone jacks. It even supports direct USB-C streaming, letting you plug it straight into your computer for instant high-quality live video. In everyday use, the V1 bridges the gap between a compact and a mirrorless hybrid. You can shoot long clips without thermal issues, enjoy that signature Canon color straight out of camera, and still slip it into a jacket pocket. In short, the PowerShot V1 is for creators ready to move beyond the ZV-1F. Those who want more control, richer color grading potential, and a more professional polish. It's not the tiniest compact, but it might be the smartest. Canon's message here is clear. Compact cameras aren't gone. They've just evolved. Now, let's move to something completely different. The Number 5. Sony ZV-1F. The camera many creators turn to when they want an effortless step up from a smartphone. On paper, it's simple. A pocketable body, a fixed ultra-wide 20mm equivalent lens at a bright f/2.0, and a 1-in-type sensor with just over 20 million pixels. In practice, that combination does exactly what beginners and solo creators need. It frames you, your friend, and a bit of background at arm's length, adds some cinematic background blur, and does it all without diving through menus. Sony built this for people who want to press record, not learn color profiles. Autofocus is its secret weapon. Eye detection sticks to faces, and a dedicated product showcase button tells the camera, if I hold something up, focus on that first. It sounds small, but for reviewers or unboxers, it's a sanity saver. You lift the product, it's sharp. You drop it, your eyes are sharp again. Video quality is strong for the price. Ultra high definition up to 30 frames per second, ideal for vlogs and travel content. Sony's active stabilization smooths handheld shots, though it crops the frame slightly. A fair trade for steadier footage. For anyone worried about overheating, Sony rates recording time at 13 hours, though battery life and card space will cut you off first. In short, you can film long sessions comfortably if you manage power and heat responsibly. Everything else feels made for creators. A fully articulating screen, a surprisingly good built-in mic with a wind muff, and a clean creator-focused interface. If you're coming from a phone and want cleaner depth, more reliable focus, and a setup that just works, the ZV-1F nails it. It's not your forever camera, no interchangeable lenses or optical stabilization, but it's a fantastic first step. In the end, the Sony ZV-1F is the press record and get on with your life camera. It's simple on purpose, and that's exactly why it works. Now, let's talk about